Welcome back to the XL Center in London and an excellent start to this series. mousesports actually battling back despite some problems at the start. That, to be fair, were even when Boomich legged out as well. But that's a decent sign of things to come, I think, because Dust 2 is a wide open map. That's where Navi's skills are going to shine. Now we move to a slightly more tactical corridor of Banana on Inferno, and Navi picked it, so this could be the same setting again.
I think so. I give mousesports the edge here as well, just because it's such a tactical map. You can't really brute force your way around Inferno. I think we've seen many teams over the years have a looser approach, which worked for many years. Remember, Fnatic dominated Inferno for so long with a looser play style, relying on individuals, but the game has evolved so much. It's more tactical, it's more utility-driven at this stage, and mousesports have got a very firm understanding of how to play that. And remember, we didn't even get Voxer coming online in that first map. Inferno is another wonderful affair for him. He's done some of his best performances in 2019 on Inferno. If he comes stepping into this one as well, they could be in trouble on the Navi side. But
I think every person who's played one map of Inferno in their life knows how powerful an op is on it. I mean, you always run into an absolute wall of an op at some point in time. Yeah,
absolutely true. And yeah, get that man loosened up. Electronic, one of the absolute best riflers at this tournament so far. Looked fantastic. Had his moments in Dust 2. Wasn't quite enough to secure the victory. They've certainly got some holes to plug in terms of their approach in the really key and vital rounds they should be winning. Against Eagles, they seem to give up way too many rounds there. They definitely recover that by winning some themselves, but it feels like sometimes they overcommit individually sometimes because they're so confident in their own ability. As Blade now trying to pull the strings, make sure that doesn't happen again, being very clear with the objective going forward in Inferno. Just to remind you, on the map picks, we play a knife round every single time. Inferno is one of those maps where you would prefer to start CT quite
Interestingly
heavily.
enough as well, he's talking a lot to Perfecto, which is the newest recruit on the team, so he's obviously trying to give him an idea of what they're going to do. Now that suggests to me either he's saying along the lines of, hey, remember what we did do in practice, or he's saying, hey, you haven't played this much with us, so here's what you need to do. Either way, he's going to be the one that's going to have to fit in to form with the team, and I think if you go down 0-2 in this series with Nuke as the fourth map and Train on the cards, it's possible mousesports put themselves in the position where they're almost undefeatable at that point in time. So I think this almost becomes a must-win game for Navi.
Yeah, at one point, a long time ago, they were considered to be the best team on Inferno Navi. Very different lineup, but the core was still there, I suppose, with Flamey and, of course, Simple within the ranks. But this is a very different team now. Be interested to see what they've been working on. We haven't seen much Inferno at all at this event, so I'll be interested to see what they can do.
I'd be interested to see as well if you mentioned that sort of their time being among the best. One of the things they always used to do, and they were almost a victim of, was using all of the time on the clock. There was many rounds they actually timed out and didn't get a bomb plant down by a matter of seconds because they were just too slow to execute. I'm curious to see if that style has stayed the same or if they're going to actually be a little more explosive now with their younger talent.
I would say almost certainly, yeah. They seem to be jumping on opportunities when they spot them, and it's down to the minutiae sometimes. You just see a slight gap, a gut feeling here, a reload, and they're happy to take these challenges. It's not about the set-piece gameplay that Navi of old were so famous for. The Legacy team would wait until about, 20 seconds and then do a full execution towards the A side. Could be very powerful, but sometimes would fall apart. And we'll see now if this huddle will lead Navi to some success. You can see Simple actually leading most of the conversation there as they discuss their options. You can see a lot of camaraderie in this team. They're all friends. It's great to see a lot of smiling faces on the Navi side, still looking confident going to the next map. They gave up the pick of their opposition, so it's not the end of the world. Dust 2, the way they were playing with a 10-5 lead as well, you'd expect them to close it out, but wasn't to be the case towards the end. A couple of key rounds towards that B-bomb site. That MP9 kill stands out of my mind where things actually started to drastically swing against them.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point, and it's tough to limit that or put that onto Perfecto. I mean, he's with a pretty, I don't want to say useless. We know how good it can be in certain situations, but a gun that doesn't do much against armor, and he was one bullet shy. It just got away from him.
Now, that was when the money collapsed, and mousesports were able to dig their heels in on their T side. As Flamey looking very calm, making sure that this next map is going to be theirs. As they sit down, the second map of this best of 5 will continue momentarily. Just joining us as mousesports to pick up the first map. We had a few issues in terms of delays, so it actually turned out to be an hour and 45 minutes, a long map of CS, so it took a bit more of a break just to recalculate, get themselves back into the zone. And looks like we'll be getting to the action very shortly indeed. Inferno will have the knife run up shortly. Carrigan, you'll see him using the AUG on the CT side, one of the few players still staying true to the gun. Still a very viable one, still very powerful. Just a bit more situational, and especially some of the older players that are unable to keep up with the brute skill of some of these younger guys. The org makes a lot of sense. You can hold deeper angles, play more traditional Counter-Strike in that sense, go for your kills, hold back. And we'll see if that comes into fruition here. Simple, he'll certainly be showing us what he's capable of on the T-side AWP as well. He will not be scared to bring that out, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. He loves a good T-sided AWP. It's a bit more difficult to play. We mentioned Guardian actually being decent in that position, so that's something that we'll have to watch for Simple because, again, Guardian was definitely falling off in form, but he was capable of finding openings on this map for them.
Yeah, he was. I remember I was saying that over the years. Like he was one of the few T-side AWPers you could rely on to open things up.
Yeah, JW to some extent, but less consistently. JW just would pick it up every now and then and have one round where it was almost like he had a preset plan of what he wanted to do, and he would make it work.
Or if you're Zywu, you can just rush B with an AWP as well and just kill everyone. That would be something.
We can't all be Zywu, can we?
Yeah, he's done some ridiculous things on Inferno over the years, but there we go. The in-ears coming through and the soundproof headphones as well as we get into our second map very, very shortly indeed. And it's raging for mousesports. Sat down, coffee in hand, feet up, looking relaxed. Another grand final. There he is. Oh, looking very serious. Business as usual today.
Yeah, definitely looking like a serious man in that picture. Gene, the coach. So we're still awaiting the knife round at this point in time. Thought we were ready to roll. Thought Trace said he promised us they'd be right into it.
Yeah.
I blame him at this point in time.
They wanted the second analyst test to come through, so here we are.
It's true. You know, you need a second opinion.
Yeah.
That's what we're good for.
Boys getting warmed up. You'll see some fantastic movement on the mousesports side. With Voxic and Rob's side, they're so agile, I think is a good word to describe it. They are very good at just exploiting smokes and gaps and disappearing. And that fast sensitivity as well. Great for exciting clutches from Voxic with the AWP. He's done some unspeakable things on this map, especially the Pro League finals where he went off. That was absolutely nuts. We'll see if he can replicate that. He had 9 frags at the end of the first half on Dust 2. By his standards, a very quiet game. They still won it, so absolutely fine. It's just so good when we're in a big game. Voxic and Simple, both firing on all cylinders. It's going to be a lot of fun as Carrigan. Let's be preparing the troops now, or maybe just get a quick yawn in there. Frozen. Didn't have a bad game in the first map, but I'm sure he wants to show us what he's capable of at the B site. On the CT side, very safe on that side of the map. Good for multiple frags, time and time again.
Just to note as well, Voxic, left-handed mouse user.
One of the few I can actually recall.
And he still uses WSAD, and the reason I bring that up is because sometimes with a left-handed user, they'll switch to the arrow keys.
Yeah.
The problem with that means that it puts the keyboard further over into the player next to you, so they get less space to use.
Yeah, so he kind of has to be at the end, really, doesn't he? Like,
oh, he's not. Is he at the end?
I don't know. I think he's one
in
just the way you
from the
described
end.
it.
Yeah, no,
like
you would almost wish that he was. He might then not have enough table space beside him. I don't know.
Well, here's the knife round. So second map will be underway. I would say this is one of the more important knife rounds. It's not a win condition by any stretch of the imagination, but you'd feel more comfortable starting on the CT side as we see the flying V come in towards middle. See whether this is going to work out. They line up, and the knife is underway. There it is. Get it over with quickly. It's going to be Na'Vi to start on the CT side here. Simple to close things out. So we saw very aggressive pistol play on Dust 2. Remember, mousesports pushing up middle with 4 players. It is a bit of an old school strat. Does work out. We catch them off guard. And you can do the same thing on Inferno as well. That's Na'Vi set on the CT side. We see plenty of teams rush middle and just try and cause absolute chaos in the range of the USPs and get a few quick headshots, fall back if they can. We'll see what they've got in mind. A CZ and Armor on towards Boomage here. So where does he want to tuck himself into? 2 CZs, good in the boiler room in the apartments, sandbags as well. Not known for its range, but can find multiple kills. Here are the odds by GG.bets. You can see it will be a slight edge towards mousesports here, but it's relatively even.
Electronic has to get off top side of middle already. Doesn't have much activity toward him, but he knows that they are putting pressure on B. He'll have had that call from his teammates, and he wants to put himself therefore in a position to rotate faster. But for now, Mouse get ready to attack. Smoke deployed from the CTs. Buys a bit more time. They don't have many of those. In fact, they've got one left only for Electronic, but this is how they wanted to play the defense. No kits and buy as much space as possible. And guess what? Electronic is rotating because he wants that smoke there. He knows if they can contain the map with as little utility as possible, they're in a good spot. He throws it late. It is deeper. They'll be able to wide side peek on that. He's going to rotate to Coffins, but they put Flamey up above first, and he has a gap. He's got a perfect position, but Boxing from down below drives by underneath and finds the kill. Watch for Boomich and Electronic to at least do something to keep them one man ahead, but have to concede the bomb site because of the deep smokes toward the Coffins.
Yeah, the smoke buys them just enough time there. Bomb planted, they reposition a 3-on-2, so certainly capable of winning this one. mousesports will have one flashbang and 100 HP on both players here as the CZ rotates in. No kit available right now. All three making their way towards the mouth of the bomb site. Carrigan and Chris J. Will be Chris to take the attention first. Here's the flash. Carrigan will have to swing off this, and here he does. He needs a quick headshot, needs to bring it back to a 2-on-2, which he does. Lovely work so far. Carrigan leading the way here. It's him against Simple, the CZ at close range, and the in-game leader delivers all the goods there. A 3 versus 2 against Simple on the 1 versus 1 as well, and held his nerve. Those CZs unable to find massive damage towards the end, and it's the Glock that wins out and gives mousesports that big pistol there. Great recovery, man.
3-0 on pistols as well now for mousesports.
It's a lovely setup there. You can see it all coming together. They just had enough time with those smokes as they were dissipating to reposition towards Emo and new boxes. A lack of utility, of course, on those pistol rounds. The CTs couldn't flush them out. One final flashbang was enough to give Carrigan a tiny bit of space, and he capitalizes upon it. Still, a scary round coming up here. You know Na'Vi got a force buy on Inferno. It's very viable indeed. You can use these smokes, treat it like a gun round, and you don't want to deploy the smokes until you absolutely have to. You just want to run that clock down as low as you possibly can. Try and steal a kill away. It's going to be Boomich that swings out first towards R4, takes a few bullets though to the chest. Down to 48, and he's going to rotate. He feels like he's shown enough presence there to tag someone out. It seems to be Perfecto just making his way back now with the Desert Eagle. He'll be joining Flamey. 3 players from the mousesports side, and maybe just going to throw in the MAC-10 here and see how it feels.
Smoke down both ways, in fact. Perfecto tries to go back through, but Voxic was anticipating it and actually was able to get the shots through the smoke. He elevates himself onto the logs as well, and he's able to catch out Flamey, so 2 quick kills on the AK entry. And that's the difference in the round so far. They have still Electronic on the UMP, but that's all they've got to work with. Head armor for both he and Simple. Smoke that's going to be used now, but they may consider saving, especially with the B site loss. Boomich is going to go. No head armor. CZ only goes down, no kills. That pretty much confirms there's no need to head back over toward B.
Yeah, that will have to be the save now. Electronic and Simple with the UMP and a Deagle. That's about it. Bomb planted. Very clean round from mousesports. Barely took any damage there. Happy to take the initial banana control, fend them off with the utility. It was Boomich that was trying to find some initial damage at the CZ, though, forced off by the flashbangs and AGs. And that should be the full eco going forward for Na'Vi. If they save the UMP, a chance to inflict some sort of financial damage going forward. It's very unlikely they'll win the round. But you never know with a Simple Deagle. Rob's not committing to the hunt here. He knows he's got more to lose than he has to gain. But there we have it. Round concluded. 2-0 mousesports here. Pick of Na'Vi after just winning Dust 2 as well. I had them as the favourites coming into this one, as I feel like they're a more well-rounded team, more experienced as well. Their 5th final in a row. This team just seems to be getting better and better. Everything under control for now. No reason for any tactical timeouts. The coach can sit back. Same story for Na'Vi, really. They don't really have much to discuss in this round. You're going to have a couple of P250s, 3 HEs. You can dump them down towards the T-steps or straight on banana. And if your mousesports got a good spawn, you can get towards logs before the nades get there, but you might not even want to commit, and they'll just hold back. Oh, that's a good nade, actually.
Double nade. We say that every time, don't we? It goes too deep, they land inside the logs, and Kerrigan's far enough forward that there's no damage done to him. It's just getting a bit ridiculous, almost.
So banana control gathered with 4 players as well. It doesn't really matter if you commit against the P250s no armor. It's not going to be a huge deal. Simple with a helmet actually does make things a little bit more problematic, but the smoke down nullifies him. Kerrigan's use the opportunity now to try and swarm the rest of the Na'Vi players. Another opening pick for him. The P2000 doing reasonable damage. Give Simple a chance to maybe get a couple of kills here, but the bomb will be planted. Still essentially a 5-on-3.
Not much confidence confidence for Simple to try and work back in. In fact, he's going to try and get out. He still has that armor to hold on to, so he wants to keep that in contention for the next round. There's Electronic still holding on to the UMP, so Perfecto, the only one that's actually willing to sacrifice himself at this point in time. 3-0 start. Simple would have loved to get a few kills, I'm sure, with that Deagle. Electronic does actually concede the head armor in the UMP without getting a single frag his direction, so no kill bonus for him either. mousesports in control early on the T side. Their map choice was Dust 2, but again, I bring it up. You mentioned tactical style for them might actually be suitable on this map. We'll see if Navi has anything else. Perfecto, good shot on Chris J.
So, a MAC-10, a UMP. We'll have a look at the helmet situation for Navi going forward. There's Frozen. Got a mascot on the table as well. Perfect start so far. Only gave away a single kill in the previous round. But this is an important one. If they can get this, knowing that the force buy came in the second round on the CT side, they won't necessarily have everything they need. Now, we've talked about this. Simple sometimes won't even get the AWP out in the first gun round, but this time he does. 3 players without helmets, however. The MAC-10 and UMP just got a lot stronger. 1 more pounds potential now. We need to be aware of it. 4 players waiting at T-steps right now just to avoid the initial utility. And in terms of lurk potential, Robs, this is a classic move from him. You'll see he's doing one train towards upper ramp. He does on Inferno a lot towards the apartments as well, just to make sure there's no flanks coming in the CT side and just keep presence on that side of the map.
Simple forced off by Flames. Goes back toward the site, tries to bait in his teammate, but Kerrigan reads that. Boomich can't do much with it. He's losing HP, he's losing time, somehow gets away. Just enough utility to keep the enemy at bay, and he falls back inside of the site. Meanwhile, they head back over to the other side of the map and take toward top middle. 3 players with rifles heading that direction. Chris J that leads the charge of all people. Rops inside a boiler. He'll work out, but it's Electronic that has yet to leave the pits. Do not leave pit.
So they've gathered that B control. Back towards middle. And you can see the CTs now, the last bits of kit they've got, just dropping some smokes, trying to buy some time, deny access, but Kerrigan is just pushing his way towards CD spawn, so a banana split could be coming through here. Bombs towards B, so it almost certainly will. Flamey has to hit at least one of these. Low HP on Boomish, now down to 0. That's Chris J to find him. 20 seconds, and Simple's in a lot of trouble here. Has to fight again, he knows it. Does he nail the shot? Gonna go down here. Lovely work, just Flamey remains here. With 15 seconds, can he do anything to deny the plant?
Deep Molotov, but he's already inside of it. They're hearing him coming, marching forward as he was. All too easy to predict the placement for Frozen, and it's on to Electronic again. 4-0. mousesports looking absolutely flawless, taking the B site so far.
That's a dream of a round there. You've come in with a MAC-10. The UMP have applied so much pressure at the start. They've had to dump a lot of grenades towards B. And then, once you had that control, you've taken the vision away from the CTs as well. Back to mid-control. Basic smokes down, push them back towards library and the bomb sites. And they'll be there with their default crossfires. No, they're against SMGs. That seems like the right call, where Kerrigan, he spotted a vulnerability there. He gets his way through towards the outside, knowing there's a few players without helmets. If he finds one, it'll be close range. He'll probably find the kill. And it peels a player away from the B bomb site as well there. As soon as he does that, we saw Simple, knowing he has to find a couple of kills. Close range with the AWP normally wouldn't be a problem, but the shot is not connecting. A couple of awkward flashbangs being received. And it will be mousesports with a resounding victory there. 3 players surviving, upgrading their weapons as well. Looking very good for themselves at this point. Simple, demanding better here. And the money's not going to be in a fantastic position, even with the maximum loss bonus. This was the moment. Flamey painted into a corner, taken down eventually, bomb planted.
Electronic over towards B, Banana with the M4. He's got 2 teammates to help him. They're going to go for a bit of a nade stack. He's the only one with the HE, but they've got incendiaries to go on top of it to hold the position. Maybe he can get that M4 into a place of relevancy, but right now he's still forced to be passive as Boomich is the one that jumps up and down to try to get vision in the lane. Ball left inside of the small pit at mid, so they can go for picks, not actually reveal its location. No chance for a push at this point in time from the CTs to try and get map control. Sometimes you'll see in these these eco situations, someone to push down the apartments, try and get behind them. That's not going to happen, not with the setup that they currently have on the mousesports side. So they're giving full consideration to their opposition and certainly keeping track of the economy as a result of that.
Mini pit smoke being deployed here. mousesports have been in full control so far, looking for a 5-0 kickoff here in the first half. You can't take these rounds lightly. Execution required. Eradicate the risk with the smokes here. Carrigan has been opening up the bomb sites left, right, and center. A second kill for him as well. There will be some resistance here from Perfecto. Flamey finds one in return. The communication a little bit off here. Christian looks confused. Could this cost him another frag? Flamey looking very good there. A moment more, it could have cost him the round. Christian just about recovers it with a backup from Robs there, but it will be 5-0 on the T side of Inferno, the pick of Na'Vi.
Yeah, big. This is a great start. Again, I said this is a must-win map for Na'Vi to keep this series alive because we go to Train next. And then it's Nuke and Mirage.
Well then, tactical timeout, you would assume called by Na'Vi here, the first of this second map. MP9 for Boomich. Really do need the grenades on this map, and they've got a distinct lack of them. Fourth player on the list there, didn't quite catch who it was. There's a smoke and a decoy. When you're buying the decoy, you know things are getting pretty dire. So what's the call now? This is all in the hands of Carrigan. He knows it as well. You've had this start, you've got them on the back foot. Their money's still not recovering. They won't have all the bells and whistles they need. This is when I'm throwing in fast pace. This is when I'm throwing a bit of a Hail Mary round. Just as they're adjusting, they may be thinking about the same. See what he's got in mind. No real nimble weapons like the MAC-10 to bring to the forefront. They've got an AWP. They might just slow it right down here. First time we'll see the Seaside Orb. Simple, very good spawn. Could challenge towards second middle. I doubt he will. Waiting for the initial flash. And there we go, Chris Shea pushing up.
Shot back in. Oh my goodness, what an awkward fight. Both fully blinded. Somehow Chris J finds him first as Boomich goes down. Leaves us 5. Look at the HP for him though. 2 HP. That's like Perfecto in the last map. So close again.
Okay, well that'll put the brakes on at least. Flamey's done enough to hold them off. There was a real opportunity to bust through the smoke and get the trades, but it didn't feel super viable with the AWP and M4 just rattling off bullets like that. Flamey to be boosted on new boxes here. It used to be such a powerful position because you don't get flash, you don't get Molotov there, but the pre-fires now, there's set pieces designed just to check that position. But this isn't bad because you've got Simple take the initial aggro. If he nails that first shot, they're all going to be focused towards Emo, and that allows Flamey then to really excel with low HP and hopefully get a couple of kills. He is reliant on Simple getting one.
Simple's got one. Slides out to find Frozen. He'll watch the wide side of the smoke on entry as well, as Electronic will completely detonate on top of Chris J by way of Nate. Good hold that time. Sliding back in. Electronic and Simple each getting 2 kills. That's what you need to see, but it's on B, and that means more attention's gone that way. I wouldn't be surprised if Mouse start to just get in the back of their mind by going over toward A. They won't be having the luxury of a free rotation as such.
Creative play there towards our B bomb site. Great setup. The boost was a good call, even though Flamey goes down to the actual flames, ironically. It's Simple that does enough there. Takes the aggro, hits the shots required, and this is where he can start to take control of the game. Money still strong, of course, from mousesports, winning 5 rounds in a row on their T side. Pretty clean rounds as well. Close smoke to allow Frozen some access here. Wow, what a play this is. He actually could be on for a second. The flashbang makes things awkward. Perfecto keeps the dream alive, taking heavy damage, though, from the Molotov at the corner. They'll be down to 31 points of health. And Carrigan, not sure if the bomb site's clear. Just firing off into all those smokes. Just have got the advantage, though.
Just to know, Boomich has gone down a number of times by being at those sandbags, by pushing out into B, so he's going to have to consider that. Perfecto gets the kill that time and at least trades it. But Boomich is not long for life in most of these rounds, and that's becoming very costly because B is the problem right now. We're seeing mousesports get in there time and time again.
Flash over. Now that's the flash you'd use when a CT is actually going to be swinging around. And if no one there, they'll at least hear that you potentially push towards B. Enables them to have 3 players towards the A side, hopefully funneling them up towards Arch. You can see we've got Perfecto. Low HP, we'll have to be a little bit more creative with his positioning. Smokes down, bit of an off angle here as well. This one's 1 kill, then fade away. Didn't quite connect, but he survives.
Gives him some space as well as he goes back towards CT.
Carrigan's had enough of that. He's like, you know what, you can stay in Arch. I got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, focus on the task at hand, and that is to try and get toward the A site. We thought they might switch it back up Given the early rotations in the last round, Voxic gets Flamey, and that is the last line of defense directly inside of the site. No rotation yet from Simple just to note, and I think that might be indicative of the intentions of Na'Vi. They will save. It's going to go 6-1 T-side for Mouse. Very good start.
Yeah, very convincing as well. More of the same, really. You can see they know exactly what setup Na'Vi are deploying towards the B side of the map. It really is all about that utility exchange at the start. Na'Vi, they are getting overwhelmed because traditionally you have the close range Molotov thrown by the best spawn on the CT side. mousesports are preparing for that. They're throwing their own shallow smoke to allow Chris J to have a little pathway up and towards that sandbag position where they're pre-mollying as well. CTs are challenging, but maybe not quite enough. I think they need to start sending 3 players there at the start instead of the 2. Or just enable them to have B control. It's not really working out for them at all. It's going to be 6-1 for mousesports here. Another healthy round as well. As Na'Vi on their pick, unable to get going, unable to brute force their way into these rounds. And what will be in store next? They saved the Simple ore. Maximum loss bonus, of course, still ringing true for themselves. They will buy up. 1 drop required, I'd imagine. Simple will do that. Still got the AWP. Pretty decent buy, all the utility there. 4 rifles. Oh, I missed the MP9 for Electronic. On a map like Inferno, not a huge deal. So Molotov at the barrels this time. Close range smoke to deny incendiary access. And Boomage, again, takes 2 nades to the face, Matt. He keeps challenging this.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing at this point in time. It's become, you know, I mentioned all the different angles that he played it long on Dust 2 in the group stage and how he was creative. It's anything but right now because he continues to do the same thing and it's the same result. The definition of insanity starting to present itself as Simple does at least get a shot back, looks for a second, finds Voxic down by the bags, and he's going to have to fall all the way inside of the pit. Makes no mistake to find Chris either as he relocates. Looks for the fourth. He's got that as well. Nearly an ace for Simple, but you can see the impact the man can have as it's all onto Frozen 1-on-3.
There it is. One of those classic Simple moments. Just on the round, looks like it's about to fall apart. He finds absolutely everything. All the shots connecting. And Frozen with enough time to still win this round. We've got Perfecto down towards T steps. CT stacked towards the library side. Frozen though with the Krieg. If he can bring this down to a 2-on-1, he's got a real chance of doing this with the bomb on his back. First shot connects. Beautifully done. Is he aware of Boomage on the other side? He's in the library. He's low HP, so he can't do much off this. If he goes down early about his teammate there, he might throw this situation away. Perfect Molotov as well. So Perfecto either waits 7 seconds for this or runs through. He's opted to wait. AK-47 in hand. Molotov available. It doesn't do too much for him apart from he can molly the pit, I suppose.
The angle, Molotov already thrown. You said it could go pit. He's going to try and clear the site. That's going to force Frozen out, but on top of the box, he still holds a very powerful angle. And Perfecto's not giving himself a lot of time. Behind the pillar, he's not going to spot him either. Oh, you'd expect that Frozen had that, but he's actually found the angle and a great shot on the AK. He has done it. Just enough time, and Na'Vi finally get their second round of the game.
He looked like he was fumbling the hay bales jump a little bit there, was wasting time, and Frozen felt like it was in the bag. It came down to 1 second there. Had he just hidden away, could have been enough. It felt like a guaranteed shot for himself, though. But speaking of good shots, look at these. Simple. The second one, that's when he brought himself a bit of space now. Repositioning towards the pit. Chris J taken down, and this is what got them into a winnable situation. 3-on-1, to be fair. Frozen, he doesn't win the round, but he certainly wounds them going forward.
Yeah, that is huge, considering it was 4 players down to 1, and it came to a 1-on-1. I mean, Simple did so much work, and yet they still almost didn't win the round.
Well then. Big round. A lot of implication attached to it. 3 players towards B this time. Not dumping everything they have, haven't taken a lot of nade damage at the start here. It's Carrigan. Been so good, so brave at getting towards those bomb sites and having high impact as well, spotting those opportunities. No input lag when the in-game leaver's the one going in first, and he might be swinging again. Dry around the corner of the Krieg, and able to do that, and Perfecto has to drop his defensive utility here and bail out.
Perfecto is bailed, but he's ready. He holds the corner, at least from Moto, and that's going to give them a good chance. 1-man advantage. Electronic this time, the one inside of the pit. Rotation's coming back from Simple. He was over at B with the op. It still gets toward library as well, and there's a timer on the smokes, and no others available. I say no others, excuse me. I'm still getting used to this HUD. It changes every time we're at an event, so there's 2. Let's Molotov down. Electronic pushed out. Rops is gone. Now there's only one smoke left. Make that none. Frozen's not able to throw his. They've got all the vision that they need. Even in front of the library, they've wrapped around. Nearly getting the shot was Voxic, but Boomin chases him down, and good for him to get a kill on the board. He has been struggling. 3 and 8, and he's playing a very crucial section of the map. And I think if I'm mousesports right now, yes, you were winning B side a lot early on. Yes, they were adaptive and they put a third player on that side of the map. You have not succeeded over toward A. It might be time to go back to that banana position.
Great stuff there from Electronic. So that individual skill really shining bright at that point. Spray control from Perfecto as well towards the arch position. Well held, didn't panic there. That was a high pressure situation as well. 4 Ts coming on the corner. You've had the dump defensive utility just to get out of the situation. Decent angle, gets himself 2 kills. Pushes them back towards quad. And not missing a single shot really. Electronic finds him our third round. 6-3, still a lot of work to do here. Carrigan at the top, 8 kills. Galil purchase for Chris J. This will be a partial buy. He's got himself $1,800 Galil. A helmet as well, just to balance out the money and a bit more than his teammates. No grenades, interesting enough. Just going to be looking for some 1-digs here. Frozen just to the Glock. Same story for Voxic.
Frozen. Just a couple shots toward the top side of middle. Boomich inside of Banana has the deep smoke. So this time he actually gets in there almost for free, given that there's no money, finally, for mousesports to work with, and therefore he's actually a little more aggressive, Boomich, and he hasn't lost HP. That's the big thing. He's not really wounded by now. Kerrigan's worse than wounded. He's down. Simple finds him from inside a library on the op. And Electronic is still inside of the pit with Perfecto able to swing either direction. He'll smoke off the apartments, deep smoke as well. Buys a bit more time, and it might force Chris out. He might actually get aggressive on that.
Yeah, time will tell. He's the only player with the rifle here. It looks very convincing for Na'Vi. Galil not going to find that instant kill required, and here we go. Perfecto and Electronic starting to look strong now towards this A side of the map. You said that maybe mousesports want to consider going back towards B. You might be right here. This was essentially an eco, but a bit of a statement round from Na'Vi. Starting to wake up now, closing that gap. You can see them coming to life here as well. It's only the second map in this best of 5. A lot of Counter-Strike to be played. Took them a while to come online here on Inferno, but things starting to stabilize here. It's not the map it used to be either. Inferno used to be considered a very CT-sided affair.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the first maps in that sense to actually start balancing out. Seeing the same sort of transition with Nuke as well. Not so much Train. I think that's still considered a CT-sided map, but it depends on the matchup, I would say. As we'll see, 5 AKs across the board. mousesports, no AWP available, and Simple starting to feel it now. You can see that confidence starting to come through. Checks towards second middle. And there is a player coming. That'll be Rops to go down if he holds position, but he'll fall back.
So Boomich doesn't get aggressive this time, but does still sit behind the sandbags every single round, and you'd expect that there will be a bit of utility thrown in that direction. They could bounce the Molotov oh so easily. This boost as well, even if Boomich tries to retreat.
Ouch.
Kerrigan has a headshot. Good nade from him, at least this time, but Voxic's got him. I'm not convinced by that spot.
That's unlucky, to be fair, because the smoke was down, and Voxic, yeah, he's spraying the corner, and he's a pretty educated guess, but you are right, Boomich is taking too much damage, and any early kill at this stage of the round is going to be detrimental, of course, and it has happened a few too many times. Unfortunate in that instance, but still goes down nonetheless. And that leaves SMG waiting towards B. It looks like a UMP to me. And it is. It's Flamey waiting with a flashbang in hand. Luckily, there's Electronic now, who's been playing a great game. The Fnatic smokes dropped. They're not ideal, though. They weren't perfectly thrown. There are gaps there. It's a bit more of a ruse, though. You can see Frozen is trying to make his way through. Can vault up and towards first oranges here and go for a quick kill. Certainly capable of doing so. This is the jump. Spots one. Can't get the clean kill. Actually gets a dink in the face from that UMP, and Electronic now set up for multiple kills.
Taking down though Flamey, and that leaves Electronic alone in the back line. Simple's trying to get back in the sight. Smoked off from CT. Kerrigan gets the second to follow it up. So Simple, with vision restored, starts his charge toward, well, never mind the vision part. Starts his charge toward the B site. Might go for a boost. Waits for Perfecto to get into position. Voxic is certainly aware of the possibility, and he's actually already lined up and perhaps ready. He's not getting his crosshair onto it. He'll hear the scope.
Yes, he will. That's a very important factor there. They can't go for this, surely. And indeed, they'll fall back. I like the boost. They got a quick kill, sure, but as soon as Simple scopes, they know they're going to be on the other side of the smoke. They can sacrifice maybe one player here on the mousesports side, but ultimately the money not great. Want to try and keep everyone alive if possible. He knows there's an AWP tucked in. This is a big kill to find. Trying to isolate them. Simple does survive, but he takes one of them down. That's fine. But it's the AWP as Simple that will be brought forward to the next round, and we know what that did towards the apartment position before. It's always so dangerous. But good stuff there. Carrigan again, Matt. He is looking so willing to just bust into the site. Hail Mary might not work out for him, but more often than not, he's finding multiple kills in this B-bomb site. Knows where to look, got the awareness for it. He's not getting the flashiest headshots, but he's going in first and getting stuck in. Round 12. And it will be a tactical timeout now. 7 rounds on the T side, maybe a few more in store as well. Looking for that 2-0 here in the second map.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some negotiations about how to adjust that B setup. And I agree with you. He got damaged that time, Boomich, and sure, he went down through the smoke, but you could still see the boost. Even if he retreated, he was going to get caught.
I feel like they just need to start having Simple there with the AWP a few rounds. Just get him established towards barrels. And then once you have that maybe 2 rounds in a row, they're going to stop trying to challenge it as much.
I'd even say double or nothing.
Yeah.
Either put 2 players out there and take Banana, or go passive and stay in the site. The fact that you're leaving one guy there with not much hope in hell of getting out now that they know he's been there every single round doesn't really convince me.
Yeah, they seem to have his number, that's for sure. Full buy, though. We'll see if there is an adjustment. So 3 players towards B this time. It's Simple with them. He is. So the AWP's coming over. Do they want to get him established and leave him in position? That's what I'd like to see. And again, it's Boomich towards the sandbags. It's been a problem, but this time back up from the sniper. Simple looking for the boost behind the half wall here, which has been happening. Deep incendiary to maybe allow them to segregate the T's here at the top. The choke point. Good grenade. Boomich, he knows this can do big damage. Significant towards Carrigan. Takes him down to 48. But still in the sandbags here. He can't go down alone again. Nice flashbang. That's more like it. Smoke down, flashbang over. Boomer's still alive. Fancies a bit more as well.
Frozen sneaks back toward the smoke. Simple's going to be very fast to rotate. And they have gone static this time in B. The problem is, and I don't fault them for this, this is just the way. This is the way. Is that they cannot push this time to get information that there's no one there. Even with that single kill, they're not going to be able to flank quickly, so they have to work with a set piece inside of B in terms of crossfire. Simple already has Chris. Smokes down to isolate the pit. They know this is going to be a wrap on the other side, and Electronics adjusted accordingly. He's not in the pit. He's not willing to go quietly. And what a tense position to be in with 2 players on the other side of the smoke. He's gone behind them, and he didn't make contact. They have no idea. What an absolutely brilliant play from Electronic. He refused to be rendered useless by way of single smoke, and he gets 3 kills to close out the round.
Great execution there from mousesports. Normally very effective at just isolating players towards the pit, but Electronics, he's not going to be painted into a corner. He actually sits in the smoke. We're seeing a lot of that these days. It seems like if you get in the smoke, you actually get a bit of an advantage, and mousesports just didn't see that coming. He sneaks by them. 2 guaranteed kills in front of him. A nice spray control on the 3rd as well. Starting to close that gap and sabotaging the finances of mousesports there. As again to just Desert Eagles and Kevlar for Chris J. That's about it. Haven't been purchasing much in these eco rounds at all, to be honest with you. Boom, it's finding form. I like the adjustment there in the previous round. 3 players over, good smokes down, flashes over, assisting Boomer instead of him challenging alone, essentially. So that was much better. And might buy them a few more opportunities towards B. Deagle's now just looking for openings. Frozen got a very powerful Deagle, but difficult to find that angle. And now they've confirmed that against the Deagles here, it shouldn't be too much of a difficult task here. Hold on to your main utility, wait till they commit, lock them out with smokes, spray them down one by one. Carragher's been great at finding opening kills towards B. Can he do it again? Surely not here.
Carrigan with the Deagle, absolutely does! Oh! He gets Boomich in the back as well, 2 for the in-game leader, who's having an absolutely remarkable half of Inferno.
That's sick. I didn't think he'd get 1. He delivers with 2.
Finally, Na'Vi give themselves a chance. Again, the second time they've broken Mouse, they have to capitalize on it, and that is just an absolute destroying round.
That's great. An eco with no armor, no nades. Carrigan again. We've been saying it all half. He's just going in towards B by himself, leading the charge, happy to go down, more often than not finding kills, and he just single-handedly wins this round. Unbelievable scenes. He did the same thing in the Pro League Grand Final as well. It was on Inferno. It felt like they were down and out. He was the only player with a gun and managed to get 2 amazing picks towards the banana area that actually saved the map for them. Inferno and karrigan opening frags. He seems to thrive in this environment. And we get the 8th round there. A bit of an anomaly. No one saw it coming. He saw his opportunity. Nailed the first one. Second looked impossible, but he makes it work. Look at this. Oh, disgusting.
So crisp. So crisp. I mean, the first, yeah, okay, it was a great shot. Caught him with utility, but to follow that up with the second one at the back of the site, especially when the other player now knows that he's there, is just stupendous. 8-5, they win the T side. And now they have guns again, but so too do Na'Vi, and including that of the AWP, which was saved over by Simple. Quick nades wall mid. I'm not sure they're aware. Oh, there was so much utility. Perfecto had no idea they got into the mid wall, but likewise, I don't think that Frozen heard him because there was a flash thrown his way. That could have gone either direction.
They've sent 3 players towards B. This is such a great call from karrigan. It's up to Electronic to save the day again. These multiple kills, lots of damage inflicted, but Frozen just fending them off now with the Krieg. Somehow scampers away, and it's Flamey. Left of the M4, I think they have to save the next round. That's such a brilliant call from karrigan. They've been bullying that B side so much.
Exactly, and he knows that Boomich has been struggling, so they're going to support him, and that's why he's changing these calls. It's not like he's doing it at random. He's figuring out the dynamics of the defense and then predicting ahead of what they're going to do.
And how sick it is as well. Instead of going, oh, we got great money, everyone get rifles. You're like, Chris, you're an MP7 specialist. Let's get you up there. Potentially don't have helmets here. You're going to pounce through the mid smoke. If you go down, we can put the brakes on. We don't have to commit to it. If you get that opening kill, if you surprise them, we know there's a good chance of sending 3 players towards B. Is exactly what happened. Electronic did what he could defend them off, but only good for 1 frag. He can only do so much there. That's so good from mousesports. What a fantastic round from them. And Chris J leading the charge of the MP7. It was enough. You can see karrigan very happy with that one. They've just won an eco. They've now bullied their way up towards middle with an SMG. Things starting to fall apart somewhat here for Na'Vi. They had to save a couple of weapons towards the end there. We'll see what the next round has in store. Maybe a tactical timeout here. Not to be the case. Double AWP set to close things out. Flamey and Simple this time. Poor old Boomich left with the MP9. Probably can't be as combative towards B. Simple waiting for the initial flash. Same grenades towards Sandbag. You see no one there this time. Learn the lesson.
Flamey is forced off. Has to retreat towards CT connector with the AWP. This fire set up. He takes the first shot. They now know the op is exactly in position. CT, they re-peek it. I'm surprised they do. No utility. I suppose Voxic was confident, but now he's given Flamey an absolute monster situation to work with as he comes back out for a 3rd kill as well. Finding Frozen and confidence on the secondary AWP. We might have a 9-6 half. Unless Chris can do more. Simple's not able to connect. That puts him down to 14 HP. Round's not done yet. Flamey might get an ace. We saw Simple get 4 on the AWP. Flamey might actually beat him to finding the ace in the half. He's forced off by the Molotov. He goes down to 17. Rops has bomb and is going to try to utilize it. Nade goes through. Flamey's gone. He wanted that ace so badly he ran in even with the low HP. Information for Simple, perhaps he wasn't spotted when he jumped, and he makes no mistake in the up-close shot.
I thought there was a chance there. It looked like it was coming together from Robs. Did absolutely everything he could, but very well played from Flamey. Fantastic sequence there of the AWP. Didn't see him pick up the AWP at all until that last round, and he delivers. Double AWPs that are very potent on Inferno. Don't see many with both AWPs posted up towards B, but it was absolutely perfect given the situation. It's Na'Vi giving themselves a much-needed round there towards the end. But mousesports still in a very commanding position here. Here's the replay. Flamey getting it done. Holding the key CT small position. No smoke down. A little bit disappointed in that respect, I guess, but overall, didn't miss a shot. Great stuff. Are there birds flying around?
I think we got a pigeon in here with us. Just hanging out.
All right, well, let's see if the initial kills come in. We talked about CT aggression on Inferno available. Once again, it's mousesports presenting it. They find the initial kill, but Electronic pulls one back. Headshot for karrigan. Voxic so good at that P2000. Can he make it sing this round? Flaking on the back of the heads. Good for 1 so far. And this is Rops. Oh, removed. That's going to give Na'Vi an opening towards the A side. They have to finish up and plant here. The CT's not wasting any time. They want to get these headshots. Flamey still over 100 HP. He can win this round, but it'll take 2 very crisp shots indeed. First one Not delivered.
4 for 4 in pistols right now for mousesports. That could be the difference in the series at this point in time. Keep in mind how close it was on Dust 2, 16-14. And this one's equally as close. Couple of pigeons, I think, back there.
Yeah, they've come out of nowhere. They're really focusing this part of the room.
It's you, Henry.
Keep the umbrellas up.
It's good luck, apparently, to be pooped on by a bird. But I've only ever been told that by someone who has been pooped on by a bird. I think it's like justification.
Yeah, I have been a few times. While playing at LAN. That was the thing. Here are the odds brought to you by GG.bet. mousesports, the clear favorites. They are live odds. As we go into the second half now, they did pick up the pistol. And we'll see the FAMASs come through. It's going to be Chris Jadis and a Deagle up against the Krieg, the AK-47, a force buy from Na'Vi. 3 smokes. Flashes available. In terms of map control, they've been locked out of B. You can see the CT smokes down towards T steps. Now, does that funnel these rifles towards middle? Good smoke. I think they go through that. Maybe not.
Lock 6 still holding out the top line. Backs off the wall. Moves deeper inside of the site of the platform. So Na'Vi reset, and they try to put some attention toward B. They're going to use their utility toward Banana doing so, and that just to clear a bit of a pathway for them. Frozen, he'll peek this. He's got confidence. He knows he has the weapon, but he doesn't necessarily need to overextend or give that away for any careless reason. So back to the site he goes. It's always a fine line defensively in these rounds. I talked about offensively when you're in an anti-eco situation because you want to clear out the angle, you want to still execute, you want to nullify any chance of being caught off. But as a CT, you don't want to run the risk of giving a gun away, but you also don't want to back off so much that they can overwhelm you in this site. So there is sort of a balance in how you keep control of the map. And you can see how sort of timid they're being, but they have good crossfires established.
20 seconds here, Matt. It's nice, it's methodical, but will they have enough time to finish this one off? Na'Vi now fully committed to the site. It's the Desert Eagle from Chris J. He's low HP, looking for the headshot, delivering now. The FAMAS remains strong. Bomb planted, but a 4 versus 2, but it's Boomich and Simple, certainly capable of winning this one, but the CTs can't challenge until the rotations come through from CT spawn. That's going to be Frozen and Carrigan.
And Simple knows that there's 2 inside of the pit. So does Boomich. He's going to watch it with the Krieg, but Simple's aware that the rotations are not going to be coming top mid. He'll hear it. Tried to get Boomich in a better position to cover library. Now everyone's going to face against Simple. I think he was expecting a repeat from the right rather than the left.
Yeah.
And mousesports finding another round 11 now to their name.
Had they got a few more kills there with the bomb planted, you could justify another force into this next round, but without the kills, I'm not sure it's worth it. A partial buy for sure, but I don't see them fully committed here. Chris J, 19 HP in the pit, opted for just the Desert Eagle in this round, and it works out for him. Very big kill from the pit position. I like that, the fact that they stayed alive in the pit there, not challenging, just making sure they had absolutely every chance of getting trades when their teammates arrived. Very, very well done. And as I mentioned, partial buy looking likely here. You can always win these rounds in RV, win a lot of pistols. Not so much at the beginning of the half, but in the mid stages, that's when they can win with the CZs and Deagles.
Smoke to go down to the bottom of Banana. Electronic doesn't care about any of the utility. He's going to go straight through the flames. Puts him on to 42, but Flamey, meanwhile, is trying to at least get information over toward A. A single pick here would certainly leave the defense in a bit of a question mark because they have 3 on B, and they might consider rotating Carrigan back sooner than was otherwise intended. Frozen and Lovely has that Krieg already. AK as well for Voxic. There's guns worth holding on to in the CT side in terms of not taking too much risk, trying to make sure they have the one-shot headshot potential in the rifles. Carrigan's one of the only players still actively using the A1S as far as I can recall as well.
Oh my goodness, Chris J. He didn't see Electronic bounce up there. Remember, he came through all the flames and managed with the flames down as well. You don't really hear footsteps. He gets himself in the corner, waits for an opportunity there. Chris J had no idea. That's one weapon given away, the M4A4. Electronic had to go down to 42 HP to even get in that position, but it's worked out. They only have flashes to access to B site. Not ideal. I think a contact play off this Krieg would be the most viable approach. One flash in. In we go, breaking through the smoke, but Frozen ready and waiting. He's got the M4 towards CT spawn as well, and he's got that 6 smoke down towards the actual entrance here. They can see from first Orange's legs walking in, they have to go up towards the first Oranges to actually jump on top. You can see them scampering up there. They'll get one more kill. That smoke can be thrown from new boxes, and it's so good for those sort of rounds. You time it well, they can't see you at all, and you see kneecaps running in, you spray them all down.
So that certainly nullifies any threat of losing the guns over on the mousesports side. Na'Vi, you're right. Chris J was caught off by that. He thought, okay, we haven't had any action over here. We had deep utility. Surely it's safe to do so, but we get the buy now. Simple's going to go onto the T side at AWP.
Sometimes I think we saw it once in this tournament. Such on maps like Train, you'll see T's randomly throw a Molotov and then move into position. It'll seem like a waste of the utility, but the idea is you're masking footsteps. You can get yourselves into advantageous positions and hopefully surprise your opponents there. And you can see him taking advantage of that. Had to run through the River of Flames, but managed to catch Chris J out. Didn't lead to much more than a few kills there. Well held by the CTs. Great smoke usage towards the end. I always like to see that one deployed. And Na'Vi now will have guns. That wasn't the force buy. That was just the partial buy due to the bomb being planted around before, which was their force. See now what's in store here. Unlikely to see the T-side orb come out very early, but Simple's gone for it. He is the new designated full-time sniper since the removal of Guardian. Boxer Gas is out as well.
Frozen back behind the bags. He's got to be checked. Nade is so well timed. It took the attention away, and Boomich gets revenge either way, though, because Frozen was still stuck out, and he knows exactly how to clear those angles. Look how deep he's gone, but is he aware there's a player toward Coffin? He's going to check it. Chris gets the angle first. AK-47 brings it back to a 3-on-2. Perfecto still inside of the boilers. Desperate to find a pick. Rops is all they need on A, and they're going to gamble this rotation. Those kills have influenced enough. A minute left on the clock, and they know that there's likely to be activity toward A. So as such, they put the plan in front library. Chris J on his feet quickly, and he still has a chance in this as well, despite going down to 39 HP. 2 kills already. He avoids Simple's AWP and backs off. This gives him time to consider the options.
Oh, they don't know exactly where he is. Smoking off towards the library right now. Simple should be able to nail this shot. Doesn't have to commit to it, but he's fast now. 1 versus 1. You can see Simple frustrated with that.
Yeah.
But still, they win the round. That's all that really matters, but it cost them a lot there. Robs and Chris J almost did enough in the 3 versus 2. They're working off each other. But some nice shots landed by Na'Vi. They will pick the round up, but still a lot to do going forward. This might be the tactical timeout with the money being low. I assume they recovered the orb there towards the end. Yes, they did, but you can see how this has really wounded them. Luckily for them, it's a really weak bar in the mousesports side of things as well. Desert Eagles, MP9s for masses, no helmets really at all. This should be absolutely fine for Na'Vi, considering they have 3 SMGs. Should be able to find good spacing. They've got full banana control right now. They've got Carrigan and Frozen tucked in towards B. 1 Krieg, 1 orb. And in terms of the CT setup, at the very top end is a FAMAS for Rops. The reason they buy into this one is they know the money's so low on the T side. If they can win this round, it's pretty much done. They'll be 13-7 up, recover some weapons, and the money will be absolutely wrecked on the T side. Good smoke from Frozen. Bit of a gap in it, perhaps. Yes, indeed. Maybe I'll take that back.
Rops waits doorway, hold with the lovely windowsill position. Off angle, I don't think Flamey spotted him. I don't think he went far enough.
He just wants to bait out the shots there. We saw in the previous round as well. Jiggle peeks at CSGO, wide swing, bait out CT shots, and Rops is holding his nerve.
They're checking it.
Yeah,
right.
Get out of there.
You're right. Yeah, Rops was definitely holding his nerve, but they're checking it. You can see the position from the CTs even toward the mid gap, looking at the sill, and he's right to get away because Flamey would have re-peeked immediately after. Gives them the mid wall to work with on the Na'Vi side. Execution toward A potentially available to them. Additional flashes toward the apartments. Frozen's in a great position with a deagle, and no mistake, that close. Headshots are not impossible. He's even picked up a weapon, but he can't switch to it yet. He's got to stay on the pistol, and he makes no mistake with it. In fact, updates to a Krieg instead, but that's what costs him. Of all things, the Krieg versus the MAC-10.
Yeah, remember, no helmets here, so the MAC-10 very powerful to this point. This is a very important kill. Electronic can't connect the dots just yet. Can Flamey? UMP makes his way towards the pit. You can see they're both towards the bomb site now. There's actually 5 seconds remaining, Matt. They've done enough here. The AWP goes down. This is a disaster for Na'Vi. Up against the Pistols, the one FAMAS, and you can see the laughter coming through. Carrigan can't believe it. It's Frozen with the Desert Eagle once again, delivering 2 massive kills, running the clock down, and chaos ensues on the A-bomb side there. Great setup, and that's going to be Na'Vi done for, I would say, Matt. There's no bomb plant there. Loss bonus is on their side, but still it's going to be a very weak buy going forward, and they're just going to have to take an eco. 14-7 looking very likely. They're good with the Desert Eagles, but with only a couple of players of armor, 1 smoke, shouldn't be working out too well for them.
Wow, that was a really good run boost.
Yeah, they do that a lot. A lot of these top snipers will be doing that a lot.
You see teams like get on top of each other's head and set it up, and they fail. Like, he just ran, jumped, and kept going.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yeah, his movement's insane.
Voxic gets across, but no shot. Did have a chance for one toward the T-stairs. Instead, though, it's Frozen that we focus on. Back over toward B. Krieg for him. Pre-scoped angle. Headshot achieved. Boomage goes down again. He loves that corner of the map, and apparently so does his corpse, because it lays there once more as Voxic continues to be somewhat aggressive on the AWP. Flamey with the Deagle will be the next in line over toward mid. They'll slow it down, Navi's side. Down a man already, and again, not a lot to work with, no utility. They want to try and make contact. Deep smoke, that's the last they have left. And Frozen on the ledge. He's not committed to water, which means he cannot be stuck down there, be contained. He can still back off and control this fight. He won't see their feet. He knows what they're up to. That's a good suspicion. The fact that they put that smoke on the ledge meant they wanted to go to Orange's 1, but his anticipation of firing into it actually baits him out, and therefore they're able to fire back and caused a lot of problems. Carrigan down as well. No support because his teammate gone, and the round might be as well. 4 still alive. Don't be misled. Perfecto does have 5 HP, and they've picked up the Krieg. Simple's going to hold it.
Yeah, this is the kill that might decide the rounds here, and Flamey, no problem whatsoever. 1 bullet from the Desert Eagle. Voxic will pull 1 back, but it's Simple with the Krieg. This was a partial buy, remember, from Na'Vi as well, so they're right back in this now, trying to recover the AWP. Not going to happen. Maybe it will. Chris J, they'll fall back. Their money is pretty much broken on the CD side as well. Expensive investment into towards the grenades and all the rifles that were missing from the previous round. So he'll make his way back towards the pit. Looks like there's a bit of a manhunt going on, but Chris J, you'd expect him to hit that one. Ready for it, but wasn't quite aware of Flamey's close-range position. I feel like Chris has to go down here, but still hitting the shots. If he takes all of them down, that would be great. Worth it, though. Perfecto will close things out. Remember, he's not exactly throwing away money. They didn't invest that much into the round, so the fact he gets the orb out of Chris's hands, it guarantees the round going forward. They are not out of this map yet. So, should be very low money and a force buy for mousesports here. So, Desert Eagles, P50s, 1 MP9. The reason you have to buy when the money's so low because you'd be double eco regardless. And by the time the money builds up, you might as well have given this one a go.
Flamey gets himself a decent position, at least top side of alt mid. No pushes available for the pistol players of mousesports. And as we mentioned, sometimes in these rounds, CT side, you do that. You want to get the map control. And Apartment's often, for whatever reason, for some reason, goes unnoticed in those situations, so he's not going to allow that to happen. Simple just checks the lineup on the bags to make sure he knows exactly where he is in relation to exposure from Coffins. He gets Kerrigan baited out after taking the shots to Frozen. He's run back site. They know he's back either with Emo or New Box. And they know now there's a CT coming from spawn as well because the nade came through. Frozen will buy as much time as he can, waits for his teammates to get into a more relevant position, and they overlooked it. They knew he was there. They knew he was there. They saw him leave Coffins, and yet he still surprises Electronic. Simple's gone as well. It's a round that might be stolen back, so forget the eco win previously from Na'Vi. This completely makes it level, and then it takes Perfecto down. Bomb still on the ground. Rather, Boomich has it, but can't do anything with it. Frozen, he stayed alive the whole time. How does he stay alive? Simple made contact with him early, and he manages to go undetected for the rest of the round.
Yeah, this is the year of Frozen, man. He really is starting to look like a superstar on the server. We knew he had talent and potential, but it's finally being realized consistently. What an amazing round. You can see the thought process there as well. Stay alive, wait for mistakes to come through, and he gets that initial headshot. Smoke to buy himself some time. HE towards the well. Absolutely blown out of the water. It will be Na'Vi giving the round up to Desert Eagles, and we'll get into round number 23 here. Mac 10s, an aggressive play from Carrigan. I like this. Playing to win, not holding back. He wants to lock them out now. 2 players towards Banana, big spray, and there's Perfecto with the Desert Eagle, the in-game leader doing it once again. Can he escape? It's a chicken that will be taken down in the process. 5-on-2 now as Voxic looks to close things out. They're looking for map point here. Just simple, the AWP. What a masterclass from Carrigan. Even takes some poultry down on his way map.
Yeah, he thought it was a head popping out.
It looked like one. I was like, it's got the third.
It
It's just a chicken.
It was unreal. I mean, you can see how antsy they are in these situations. Simple might actually come into character from the bottom side of the underpass, but Carrigan's not actually going to give himself up. Simple will hold the AWP. This is map point again for mousesports, and they have 7 to work with. Na'Vi chose this, and they're nowhere compared to Dust 2, and you're right. Tactical is the difference so far.
I think so. They don't seem as drilled as mousesports. They make more mistakes. There's more vulnerabilities. And mousesports are very good at capitalizing upon them. Simple, it looks like he's given this a go. 5 versus 1. Makes his way in towards the T-Apps. Bomb on his back. Chances in winning this are about 2% at this stage. 30 seconds. Comes out towards Boiler. And he's got 3 players to deal with.
Oh, hit him. It's not going to matter much. I think this round's pretty obviously done, but it's still pretty special to watch Simple hit those shots when he gets the chance.
Yeah, for sure. So then, Carrigan, like I said, playing to win, to close things out, not playing KGCS. He gets stuck in with the M4 all the way down towards Banana, sabotages any efforts they had towards the B site, execution, control in general. Smoker T-steps meant they couldn't even swing out and take him down. Beautiful stuff. Excellent work. Looking very good for the 2-0 here. Pick of Dust 2 was mousesports. Managed to win 16-14. This is now Na'Vi's option of Inferno. Not really a bogey pick and looking very comfortable. Even winning multiple rounds now with Desert Eagles.
Carrigan vocalizing what he expects they'll do, or perhaps what they want to do against it. We saw Regine doing the same. Blade's been pretty quiet. We're back into the regular time, so the coaches go back to mute. They cannot talk during regular activity. They can only talk pregame, halftime, and during, I suppose, 8 timeouts, but 4 that each team can call respectively. So,
well, this is it, man. Mac 10s, Deagles, and bare bones utility. This is where it should end. Carrigan, what a fantastic half he's had.
Overstayed his welcome slightly, though, so Boomich actually burns him alive, and there was a nade on top of that as well. Brings it back to a reasonable 4-on-4. Chris, if he'd been caught out inside a boiler, another gun picked up, I could see Na'Vi actually getting away with this round. As it is, they have to do a lot more work. Smoke to cover off Frozen's position. I don't think he'll go lightly. He's been so effective on top of the coffin. In fact, exposes his whole body to stay above the Molotov, and no mistake on it. He finds the first kill. Now he'll be efficient. Now he'll fall off. He probably actually could have got away with the second kill in that situation, but why risk it?
Yeah, absolutely. You got a 4-on-2 now. Bomb's not planted. No one has to overcommit. As soon as the bomb goes down, that's when you swarm, because it takes 3.5 seconds to get that bomb planted right. And that means one player's removed from the situation. It looks like we're all done here. 4-on-1. Simple again. Just going to hope he can find some flashy shots here. Is there anything available?
Yeah, same situation, but even less to work with. Well done from mousesports to steal away Inferno. And I said that was must win. We've got a very tantalizing map pool for mousesports to close this out. They only need 1 more. Best of 5. I expected it. Again, I said 3-0 was possible. I expected them to be close. This was mousesports dominating.
I really enjoyed that. Frozen especially. Like sometimes on the big stage you'll see him drop off somewhat, but he was carrying the boys there. And Carrigan as well.
That's what I was going to say.
He is nuts, dude. Like that Deagle round he got towards B, the amount of impact he's having, and he's so selfless as well. He knows he's not going to be the key clutch or the star player of this team, but if they can send him in first, cause a ruckus with the great smokes that are being deployed and the flashbangs as well, he's consistently finding a couple of kills and opening things up for his teammates to close those rounds out.
It was pretty impressive that we talked about the individual skill. Na'Vi certainly has that on paper, but that game they actually got outskilled. They got out-dueled, they got out-positioned, they got outplayed. Boomich, I have to say, he's got to address that situation at B, and you can see him clearly having a long conversation at the end with Flamey. The rest of the team had already got up and walked away, so he knows it, they know it, there's got to be adjustments made. He's the leader, he'll find a way, but It's too late for this series. They'll have to move on, and we move on to Train.
Train next, another exciting map. Very tactical. Mousesports, no strangers to it, but it is a strong pick for Na'Vi as well. Hopefully they can bounce back. We want to see this one go a little bit deeper. That was a little bit underwhelming, but you've got to respect how good Mousesports look there individually, not just tactically as well. They're starting to look like they're peaking into the tournament just at the right time as well.
Yeah.
We'll take a break and be back with the analyst desk and Train very shortly indeed. We hope to see you there.